Welcome here to more Talk FCB and welcome to some further reaction from today's Clásico match. Real Madrid came out on top, Barcelona with plenty of work to do, but that's why today we're going to be discussing each player in some detail with some player ratings for you guys. And here are how we're going to be grading the players today. You've got excellent, I won't need that too often, probably. We've got great, we've got good, we have average, poor and very poor. That's on the line today. You can get involved with all your opinions and all of the chat over on the Flick app. And without further ado, let's get into it now. And let's start first and foremost in goal with Neto, who of course was starting there in place of Ter Stegen. And this was a big game for Neto. Of course, a game of this magnitude, he hasn't really had the responsibility of this kind of fixture in his time at Barca so far. And to be fair, I thought he was pretty good. I thought there was a few moments where he was a bit nervy. There was a corner that he sort of came for. He didn't really get anywhere near it. And obviously, you know, the final goal of the game, he comes out, he doesn't quite gather the ball. It falls to Modric, Real Madrid score. But actually, when he was called upon today, Neto did pretty well with his saves. He made brilliant saves from Toni Kroos, from Ramos as well. He got down quickly in that first half to deny Karim Benzema. And I think certainly Neto can go away from this game feeling as though he did pretty much everything he could. There wasn't nothing he could do there about Valverde's goal. Exactly the same, really, for the penalty from Ramos. I will go there with Neto pretty good on the day for Barcelona. Up next is left-back Jordi Alba, and I have to say, coming into this game, we didn't even know, first and foremost, whether he was even going to be fit. You know, it was very touch and go. He's only trained for 2 days coming into this game, and I thought, to be fair, given those circumstances, in a game like this, where you're required to give absolutely everything, I thought he did very well. Jordi Alba sometimes can be poor, sometimes he can underperform, especially in these big games, you know, Champions League, there's this and that, there's no doubt about that, but I just thought today, he was very good. Going forward, he was our biggest outlet on the left-hand side, got an assist there for the first goal, and a vital goal it was for Ansu Fati. And I'm going to say, great for Jordi Alba. It's not easy to come out, play the way he did, after only just coming back. And you could see at the end of the game, he came off the field, he'd given absolutely everything, he was drained of his energy, and that's what you want to see from any player going out there. Give everything, and he did that today. Then there's Clément Lenglet, who I thought in general throughout the game, the two centre-backs of Barcelona, not only Lenglet but also Pique as well, they did come under once again a bit of trouble, just as they did in midweek against Ferencváros. It was more runners from midfield that really seemed to trouble Barcelona today, and I thought that Lenglet throughout the game did okay. I thought he was pretty composed on the ball. There was a few times there he stepped across, he got some good interceptions, he was playing out the back pretty well, but obviously the problem for Lenglet is he was part of the moment there that ultimately destroyed our game. Now yes, you can say that it wasn't a penalty on Sergio Ramos and that the dive from him was absolutely ridiculous, and I would agree with that, but at the same time, Lenglet made the big mistake there in a game like this, especially against Real Madrid. You know they're going to get the decisions. You don't give the referee any excuse to give that penalty against you, and it was a big mistake that ultimately cost us this match, and for that reason, regardless of anything else he did, Lenglet today has to go down as poor. Then there's Gerard Pique alongside him, who I thought had a very similar sort of performance to Clément Lenglet. He made some good blocks, he made some good headers away, he stepped in, he made some good interceptions as well, and obviously the exception that he has, that he didn't give a penalty away. So I'm going to say here quite simply that Pique had a very similar game to Lenglet. I don't think either of them were outstanding, I don't think either of them were above average in their ways, but I'm going to say for Pique, an average performance, neither good nor bad. He did what he had to do without making any glaring errors. But obviously it's centre-back from both of them, and as a collective, we do need more. Up next, it is the outstanding performance of this game, and one of those out there today that even given we've lost, he's brought a smile to all of our faces, making his Clásico debut. Would you have known it? Would you have known that this man was making his first appearance in this fixture, and not only that, but 19 years old, in a new league, in something he's never experienced before. He played like a seasoned pro, he played like he had so much experience, and he was brilliant. And the amazing thing is, when Dest came in, we were talking there about his attacking quality, what he can do in the final third, and the question marks about him were defensively. But today, he was brilliant. Vinicius is a really tricky customer. He's caused many defenders in the past of Barcelona. Big problems. But Dest, today, he had him in his pocket. That's the truth of it. Everything was superb. And for that reason, he has to go home tonight with an excellent well done. Into midfield then, and we do kick off with Frenkie de Jong. And I thought out of the midfielders today, in terms of those who can receive the ball and ultimately give us there a bit of control, I thought de Jong was actually very, very good in that area. He wasn't helped next to him that Busquets was not having a good game. I think a few times Busquets actually put de Jong in trouble there, putting him with dangerous passes in places that he didn't really want to receive the ball. But I thought de Jong was really good. He was elusive. That left-hand side was certainly the better side of our team. He linked up well with Jordi Alba, also linked up well with Ansu Fati, as he does tend to do. And I think de Jong ultimately has to go down today not only as good, but I would go as far to say great. His touch, his poise, they were very, very good, and I was impressed with de Jong's display, even despite the defeat. Like I say though, when it comes to his partner in that midfield, unfortunately for Sergio Busquets, a man who in this fixture in the past has been absolutely unbelievable. He's had world-class performances year in, year out against Real Madrid, and we all know about that. But here, in the now, these days, he's just not the same. Today, it really wasn't good. He was careless in possession. He didn't stay with his runners. He didn't stay with his men. He didn't help us defensively. And overall, he didn't actually add anything at all to our midfield today. And that really hurts to say that about Sergio Busquets. I was so surprised that he stayed on as long as he did. I was surprised, to be honest, that he actually started this game. I thought we could have done with Pjanic there alongside de Jong in midfield. For me, as sad as it is, and as much as it hurts, I've got to give the lowest rank possible today to Busquets. I'm sorry, Sergio, but it was very poor from you today. Up next, we have to go with Philippe Coutinho, who actually started, of course, out more towards the left-hand side of the Barcelona lineup today, and I have to say that didn't suit him whatsoever, and I was quite surprised that Koeman elected to make that move, because obviously it benefits Ansu Fati, played very well in the 9, Messi, of course, plays well in the 10, but Coutinho, we know, doesn't really play that well when he's pushed out wide. We saw that under Valverde. That was something that really didn't help his career at Barcelona, and for that reason today, I would say that he was poor. I would say that he was close, to be honest, to being very poor, but the fact that he was pushed out of his normal role, you can understand maybe why he wasn't at his best. He had a big chance there at the start of the second half. The header that he put just wide of the post, that was a game changer in itself. Coutinho, not good today, nowhere near his best, not even close. A poor performance from him. And in terms of Pedro, it was very similar indeed. I would rank him exactly the same way there that I have Coutinho. It was a poor performance from Pedro, but it does feel a bit harsh to be saying that about a guy here who's 17 years old. It's his first ever Clásico appearance. Of course, it's a massive occasion for anybody coming into this game, and it really did seem to catch up with him. He did have a few nice touches, he did have a few dribbles along the way, but ultimately he didn't get himself involved too much, and it was a move there that didn't really work from Ronald Koeman. But of course, Pedro, 17 years old, got loads of time on his side, many more of these games to come, and I'm sure from what we've seen so far, he's going to get much better. He's got so much talent, and he remains a big prospect in this team. When it comes, though, to Lionel Messi, in many years gone by, this man has been the king of the Clásico. Nobody has come close in terms of goals in this fixture, but in this one, once again, he couldn't quite get that elusive goal. It's been quite a long time now, over 2 years since he last scored in a Clásico, and I'm sure that hurts him as much as it hurts us. He was so close there to scoring, denied by Courtois. He had a few moments in and around the area, he had shots on goal. He was looking to break through, but sadly, it didn't happen. I thought he worked pretty hard. I thought overall, of course, brilliant pass for the first goal. But again, for Messi, it wasn't quite there. And I'd probably have to go today by his standards, by his abnormally large standards, probably have to go with average. He wasn't bad, I wouldn't say that by any means, but was he competing again at those usual Messi standards? I'd still say, unfortunately, not quite. Finally, though, in terms of the starting 11, time for Ansu Fati, the man who did get our goal, and a 17-year-old who was playing in this fixture and playing so well, so confident in his play. This guy is the real deal, make no mistake about it. And I'm going to go there with a great performance as a result of that goal, as a result of his overall number 9 play. I thought in a position where he hasn't played a lot of games this season from that role straight away. It was impressive to see the runs that he was making up against Varane, up against Ramos. Really experienced players, but time and time again, he was getting to the ball first, he was really making inroads into that Real Madrid defence, and I was happy with what Ansu showed today. Great from him, and fantastic to score. So much more is going to come from this young man, and of course, We can't wait for that. There were obviously a few subs in the latter stages of the game for Barcelona, the likes of Dembele, Trincao, Griezmann and Martin Braithwaite, but I don't feel as though any of them were on the field long enough to have a serious impact, and for that reason I can't really rate them fairly for their performance, and that's why we've got now to talk about Ronald Koeman, because I have to give him a rating here that reflects not only the way that he went about the game, because quite frankly I thought his lineup was okay. I was really happy that he started Dest. That was a really good thing for him. He did that well. I didn't really understand why we were throwing Coutinho out to the left or Pedro there out to the right, but the Messi and Ansu combination worked quite well. But where it all falls down for Koeman, again, it's that in-game management. In a game like this, when the stakes are so high, when things are so tight, you've got to get those decisions right. You've got to be on the ball with your subs, and he wasn't. He dropped the ball, and that's why today, Koeman, not just poor, but very poor. He wasn't good in those subs. It cost us the chance to get back in the game. 81 minutes before making your first change? Nah, I'm sorry. That's shocking. Which thereby concludes the player ratings for Barcelona against Real Madrid today. Of course, like I say, it was not the result by a long way that we wanted. It wasn't the performance either that we wanted. But I do feel as though, as you can see there in some of the ratings, that there were some promising signs to take from this game. You look at Dest, you look at Ansu Fati, you look at the young players who are going to continue getting more experience. They're going to get better, they're going to grow. And that's something certainly to look towards in the future. Let me know what your player ratings would be in the comments down below. I'll be back soon, of course, with plenty more uploads on both channels. Up next, it's Juventus. I'll see you then, guys. Thank you indeed for watching. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.